video is to show you how to tie your belt. So I've suddenly just been demoted from a 5th Dan black belt down to a red belt, in the hope that you can see it a little bit clearer on the camera. Okay, so I've chosen this belt because it's a single wrap belt, which means it only wraps around my body once. So it might be easier to show you that. So I'm going to show you this first. I'll take it off and then show you how to tie your belt. Okay, so when tying your belt, if it's just a single wrap, meaning it wraps around your body once, then you just put it around your back. Before you tie it, try and make sure both lengths are equal on either side. Okay? Then you turn your top, the left hand side, I always go, left hand over the right and underneath, like that, and pull nice and tight. Okay? So I make sure it's on in the right place, around my waist, and I try and make sure that both sides are pretty much the same length again. Okay, and then that went upwards, so notice I pulled the belt upwards that time. So now this time I'm putting the top one over the bottom one, and I'm going to go underneath and through the middle. But before I do that, I'm just going to turn this one over. Okay, so I turn this one over, the top one goes over the top, underneath and through the middle, and then I pull sideways this time. So you can tell this is for a sword to go through, if you will, old-fashioned sword which you draw through, and then pull sideways. So nice and tight. Now what twisting that belt bit over did was create what we call a cookie, like a fortune cookie effect on your belt, okay, which is ideally what we're after. Now when you've got your belt on, it should be pretty much equal lengths on both sides and around your waist, not too low, and that's how you tie your belt. Okay, so I hope you've watched that video a few times on how to tie your belt. So just to reiterate, I'm going to take this belt off now and put my black belt back on. And show you again with the double wrap around belt, which can be slightly harder to tie. Now, if you have your name on your belt, which is a colour belt you want, but when you do have your name on your belt, I like the name on the left. So you'd always put the belt around you on your right hand side first and keep your belt name on the left. So what you want to do is you wrap the belt around you, and this is going to be a bit of guesswork for a while, a bit of practice until you get used to it. But you want to find about the right length on the right hand side, okay? So you get the right length, and then you wrap the belt around you twice, like that. Then how you tie it is exactly the same. So you go underneath the first time and pull up. And you'll have to adjust the belt, really, making sure that your belt is pretty much equal on both sides, or it will be when you tie the second knot. And you want to make sure that your belt does not overlap, twisted, and is not like this. Okay, it needs to still look like one belt, okay, because the significance of it looking like one belt is to represent one art, one martial art, one master, or one path. Okay, so that's why your belt has to be neat and tidy. And we don't tie it like a lot of other martial arts with a double tie, where you wrap it around your back twice, because it creates a big twist at the back here, where your belt should look very flat from the back. Okay, so you find the length and then you wrap it around, put it through the middle and pull up, just like you did before. Okay, on these belts are slightly different. You don't have to do the cutter. If you want to turn it over, you can. Bring it over through the center again, and then pull nice and tight. Okay, you will still, if you do it properly, get the, I'll show you that a bit closer, you will still get the cookie effect. It's a lot harder with the black belt because they're a lot thicker belts. Okay, and again, once your belt is tied, okay, it should be pretty much equal length on either side. Okay, unlike me, that if you put a bit of weight on during lockdown, my belt gets uneven sometimes. Okay, so I'll show you that one more time. Okay, so the trick is, especially for mums and dads, is to get this bit right. Okay, so try and find the right length for you. You'll start short, you'll start long. As long as you check the length before you finish the knot, you should be able to correct as you go along. Okay, so find the length, wrap the belt around on one path. Okay, and underneath and through the middle, and pull nice and tight upwards. Okay, make sure it's centered, and try and make sure they're as close as possible, and readjust if not, to being straight. Okay, then you turn the top one over the bottom one, through the middle, so you're creating that hoop for your sword again, and pull nice and tight. Okay, making sure that your belt is pretty much the same length. That's the rule, your belt has to be the same length. And there's a lot of etiquette in martial arts. We like it to look neat and tidy, keep the academy neat and tidy, and we do check your belts. Okay, especially on grading day, your belt must be tied correctly. Okay, so that's how you tie your belt. Again, there's no rule really on what side your name should be on, but I prefer my name on the left. But to be honest, it's up to you if you do it that way. There's no real rule on that. Okay, so hopefully you realise how to tie your belt. Please practice until you get it right, because we do waste a lot of time at the start of some classes tying everybody's belts. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so close-up version of tying a single belt. So wrap around the waist, make sure they're about even lengths, and cross over, and put the top one underneath and pull up. Okay, check that the lengths are fairly even. The top one goes over the top. This one you can turn over. The top one goes over the top and through the middle to create the hoop to put your sword through, and then pull nice and tight sideways, and then you get the Chinese cookie effect, if you like, the fortune cookie effect, and the belt's got to be pretty much the same length at the end. Okay, tying a double wraparound belt with my name on the left. Find the length first, wrap the belt round twice, 1 and 2, making sure it doesn't overlap anywhere like that. Make sure it still looks like one belt. Put the top underneath and pull upwards, making sure the belt represents one path all the way around. Check the lengths are more or less even. Top one being longer is okay because that's going to wrap round. Top one goes over the top. You can turn this one over the top through the middle, and then pull. Nice and tight. Check the lengths are perfectly even. All done.